as a beginner you will have to put so much efforts to learn from those things, and that every time we are going to find any, or every time we are going to encounter every problem, we are going to go on YouTube and try to find out the corresponding video for the problem or the situation that we have earlier faced. In that way you are making sure, or you are training your mind to cram that solution. What you think, okay, this problem can be solved in O of n log n or O of log n, right? So they can also optimize, they can also try to optimize, because that's the main thing. When people leaves competitive programming, their rating was not increasing, they were not finding the motivation to give more coding contest, or they were actually not improving. The saturation point has came. Hi everyone, my name is Yogesh and I'm working as a software engineer at ServiceNow. And in this video, we are going to talk about how this thing helped me in competitive programming, because there are few things which we underestimate, or when we are new to the competitive programming, so we do not pay much attention to these details. But these actually pays these skills, or these things can be actually helpful in enhancing your skills in the competitive programming. Why and how, we'll see in that. So first of all, I'll start with this thing, because first of all, if you are beginning with any programming or any competitive programming interface, right? Whether it's any platform you are doing competitive programming, being it Code Forces or Code Chef or Ad Coder, Hacker Earth, it could be anything. But the one thing that we underestimate is like, okay, first of all, we solve questions, we try to give as much as coding context, then we struggle in some situations, or we are not able to find the solution on YouTube and search for that particular video. But do you think that it is the right way to learn about that algorithm? Well, I don't think so. Why? Because in this way, what we does is we make our mind in such a way that every time we are going to find any, or every time we are going to encounter every problem, we are going to go on YouTube and try to find out the corresponding video for the problem or the situation that we have earlier faced. But that's not correct. Why? Because you are going to be a software engineer, right? And it's not always going to be possible that you're going to find the video for every problem that you are going to encounter. So what's the solution for that? So the solution for that would be, instead of I'm not saying that it's wrong to learn from YouTube or for the videos, but only learning from the videos, there's the problem, right? That's the problem. So how you can encounter with that, or how can you solve it? So try to learn from editorials, try to learn from blogs, try to learn from the solutions of the other people as well. And how you can do that, for example, I'll start with Code Forces. So after the Code Forces, you can see that there's a editorial section for a corresponding problem, correct? Where you can go and see the solutions of the other people, that okay, what are the approaches. Even though I will say, irrespective of you were able to solve the question in the interview or not, you should go to the editorial section, especially if you are beginner. Why that? Because as a beginner you will have to put so much efforts to learn from those things, and if you will make a good habit na, that okay, these are the things that you'll have to do, so in a long term or in a long run you won't have to struggle a lot. Because what does generally happens, that people say, hey, I'm practicing on Code Forces, or I'm giving contest on Code Chef since a year or since last 6 months, but our rating is not increasing in Code Forces or in Code Chef or at Coder, anywhere. Why? Because the learning curve they are pursuing, or the thing that they are trying to do, is not correct. Their approach is not correct. What they do, they go after a contest ends, what they do, they go to the YouTube and try to find the solution from the video itself. No, that's not what you do, because in that way you are making sure, or you are training your mind to cram that solution. But we don't need to cram the solution. Instead, we need to try to learn the algorithm. And how you can do that, try to learn from the editorials and try to dry run as much as possible. So instead of what generally happens, that there is often one mistake that people do, that whenever a question is given to them, they just straightforwardly try to code it on the on the coding platform. But that's not the correct approach, right? You should take pen and paper and try to draw each cases, edge cases, right? And where you and the multiple cases, try to run with that, try to dry run your code with the test cases also, so you can see, and then you can code. So instead of directly beginning it onto the keyboard and just randomly thinking, right? So that would also make a one sense. Okay, so I was saying about that, first of all, first point, that try to learn from editorials and blogs and articles as well, because then you will be able to happen that we even though we are able to solve a problem, we think, okay, this problem can be solved, this problem has passed all the test cases, and that green tick has come, and that has gave us a adrenaline rush, or has been boosted our confidence, right? That's okay, that's totally fine. But you should also try to learn from the approaches of other people as well, because what you think, okay, this problem can be solved in O of n log n or O of log n, right? So they can also optimize, they can also try to optimize. So try to learn from those things as well. Okay. And the other thing, try to make a community, try to build a community. And how can you do it? It could be either way. Either you could do a peer programming, where you or your friends, maybe 2 or 3 friends, or a group of friends, right? You can compete, you are giving coding contests, and then after the discussion ends, then you can discuss the problem or the solution for the same, correct? And how it is going to help you for that, because it is really helpful. That's called brainstorming, because in that approach you'll be able to interact, or you'll be able to you'll also able to get motivation behind the problem also, right? For example, suppose if my friend is learning some algorithm and he's able to solve 4 questions, and I was only able to solve 3 questions out of the 5 questions, then it will give me a kick. Okay, I'll also need to wrap it up, I'll also need to learn to new algorithm. And if I have stuck somewhere, right, so I can help my friend, and the same goes for him also. If he's stuck somewhere else and I have solved that question, so he can come to me to ask. So that will help you. What does it help? It will help you save a lot of time, because that's the main thing when people leaves competitive programming. There are tons of people that I have met, and they say, okay, they have started competitive programming, they were doing fine, around second year they started, or someone started in third year, they were doing fine in competitive programming for 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, but then their rating was not increasing, they were not finding the motivation to give more coding contest, or they were actually not improving. The saturation point has came, right, has come. So how you can overcome it? So that's the thing. If you do have your friends among with you, where you can participate in a coding contest together, right? Or in a hackathon, being in a hackathon, or being a online, or being a, because right now what does, or what also happens, that in college also there is a coding, what do you say, coding group, or there is a community that is specially built for coding, okay, where where they conduct so many of online coding contests and organize hackathons. So you can also try to reach out to them also, spos of your college, right? College clubs, coding clubs are there, and all those things. So try to participate. Try to, what do you have to do it? Try to be as much active in the community. And what do I mean by the community? Community means everything, being it on social, being social, I mean, being it online or offline. Online, if you are, okay, you do have some good attractive coding profiles, and offline you could be a good coder in your college, so where you can help your peers, or where you can help your juniors to understand the problems in a much better way. So that would be the one way. Other would be the ACM ICPC. What's that? ACM ICPC, you can also try to Google it. It is a one way where you can do, where this word competitive programming has actually started, in which you participate in a peer of it is a sports programming, right? As the name suggests, competitive programming, where you are competing among others to find the solution in an optimized way, not only in an optimized way, but also in the minimum time possible. So there you can participate, there you can win lots of goodies. Prize monies is also there, and sometimes like companies like Facebook or Google, right, which conducts, Facebook conducts Hacker Earth, Google conducts Code Jam, Google Code Jam, and all, and Kickstart is also there. So after securing a good rank in that, you can also secure, you can also expect a call through recruiter. They can also reach out to you on LinkedIn or somewhere else, okay, if you have been interested in the following career opportunity they do have. So that would be also the one of the way to find because it's not only like, okay, you are doing competitive programming, but competitive programming helps you a lot, all in thinking. Of course, it will definitely going to increase your thinking capability, thinking analytics, but not only that, it can also lend you a good job in your dream company, correct? So that would be my thing, that I will suggest you, that of course, first of all, don't also try to learn from editorials and blogs along with the videos. And second thing would be, make a good programming, make a good peer programming group, where your friend, being it on online or offline, you can participate, because if these two things are there, correct, and if the correct guidance is there, then I think there won't be any much issue. That okay, I know that the path of the competitive programming is not so much promising, or it's not so much of what do you say, it's not so much of easy. Always you'll have to be really really motivated, and that's why the friend or the one with whom you can discuss all those things will be really helpful. So I think these two advice will be for me, and that's these are the things that also help me during competitive programming. So I will say, really suggest you to focus upon your competitive programming skills, and along to take care of these things also. So this would be my advice. Thank you so much. This is me, Yogesh, signing off. Till then, bye. Happy coding.